What if I told you there's one trait that predicts how your child will handle failure, loss, stress, friendship drama, academic pressure, and every curveball life throws at them? It's not intelligence, it's not talent, it's not even confidence. It's resilience. And here's the most important thing about resilience. It is not something your child is born with or without. It is built, and science has figured out exactly how to build it. In this video, we're going to talk about why resilience is one of the most powerful gifts you can give your child. And then I will give you 6 strategies to help you instill this trait in your child. I made a video on this topic 4 years ago and have decided to update it because I feel this topic is really important. Well, welcome to my channel. My name is Maria, and I have a degree in behavioral sciences and child development. And on this channel, I explain different child development concepts as well as give you strategies to help you, whether you are a parent, educator, or someone who works or cares for young children. What do you think of when you hear the word resilience? Before we get to the strategy, let's make sure we're talking about the same thing, because resilience is one of those words that gets thrown around a lot without a clear definition. Resilience comes from the Latin word resilire, meaning to rebound or spring back. In child development, it refers to the capacity of a child to adapt successfully to challenges, threats, or adversity, and to continue developing in a healthy direction despite those pressures. This is not about toughening kids up or pretending problems don't exist. Resilience is not the absence of struggle. It is the ability to move through struggle and come out the other side. Changed, perhaps, but still functional, still growing, and still okay. Research from Harvard's Center on the Developing Child found that the capacities that underlie resilience can be strengthened at any age. This isn't a window that closes. Regular physical activity, stress reduction practices, and programs that actively build executive function and self-regulation have all been shown to improve resilience in both children and adults. And here's the part that should give every parent and every teacher a sense of urgency and hope. Children cannot build resilience in a vacuum. They build it in a relationship, an experience, and that means the adults in a child's life play a central, irreplaceable role, which brings us to the 6 strategies that can help parents, teachers, or anyone working with children. Strategy number 1 is the foundation everything else is built on. Every child needs at least one safe, stable, caring relationship with a consistent adult. Children who feel connected to at least one caregiver who follows consistent daily routines are significantly better equipped to handle stress than those who don't. So if you are the parent, be the support for your child. If you're a teacher or someone who works with children, be their role model. This doesn't mean being perfect. It means being present. It means listening without immediately problem solving. It means showing up consistently. Offer an empathetic, non-judgmental, and open-minded ear. Make space for your child to share what's on their mind. Validate what they're feeling, even if you can't fix it. That act of being heard builds the neural architecture of resilience. So one solid, strong relationship. That's the minimum. And for many children, it makes all the difference. Strategy number 2 is to teach and model emotional regulation, which is the ability to identify, understand, and manage one's emotional responses. Research consistently shows that children with better executive function and self-regulation skills are better able to navigate a changing environment, recover from setbacks, and make thoughtful decisions under pressure. And here's the key insight. Emotional regulation is not something children figure out on their own. It is taught, and more importantly, it is modeled. When children see adults in their lives managing frustration calmly and recovering from difficulty with self-compassion rather than self-criticism, they learn that this is possible, that emotions are not emergencies, and that hard feelings pass. Children may feel strong emotions, which may or may not be valid. However, how they respond is important in their emotional management. For example, if your younger child takes a toy car from his older sibling, your older child may feel mad. And that's okay. It's okay to be mad when someone takes your stuff. I would be. However, Your older child slugs his younger sibling or calls him a stupid poophead. That's not okay. Talk to your child about his feelings. Tell him it's okay to be mad. Then help them think about what they can do next. If the child projects strong emotions such as screaming, throwing a tantrum, or other inappropriate outlets, the worst thing to do is to give them what they want. This practice will only reinforce their behavior and not promote resilience at all. Strategy number 3 might be the hardest one for parents because it requires us to resist one of our deepest instincts, the urge to protect our children from difficulty. So we make decisions for them and solve their problems. But in our urge to protect, we are not letting our children grow by doing things on their own. So strategy number 3 is to let children struggle appropriately, of course. Don't solve or decide everything for them. Let's say your child is nervous about auditioning to play the flute for their middle school orchestra, so they change their mind about joining. I would advise against allowing them to quit before they try, or just telling them, hey, you'll be fine. They may be fine, but talk to your child about their feelings and then brainstorm strategies that will help them be less nervous, such as practicing more or practicing specific skills that they may feel weak about, or even what they can do if they don't get in or get the position they want. And try not to interfere unless they may hurt themselves or others. But you say they may fail. That leads me to point 4. Strategy number 4 is to let failure teach your child. This one sounds mean, but let me explain. Let's go back to the definition of resilience. It's the ability to overcome adversity and stress. If you protect your child from all failure, risk, and being uncomfortable, when are they going to be able to develop resilience? Resilience is like a muscle that must be exercised to be stronger. It's better for children to start building that muscle when they are young and have you help them. Allow for situations where if the child fails, he can learn from it. An example is to play board games or sports, and if the child loses or doesn't do well, turn it into a teachable moment to let the child know it's okay to lose. Let them talk through their feelings and ask them what they learned from the situation and how they can do better next time. This will help the child develop a growth mindset. And children with a growth mindset are dramatically more resilient because when they fail, and all children fail, a child with a growth mindset interprets that failure as information, not identity. I haven't learned this yet, rather than I'm just not good at this. I have seen parents who have always allowed their children to win at games so that they wouldn't feel bad. Again, how else will the child learn? Besides, life won't protect them. Teach them that failure is part of life and is not the end of the world. In fact, it may be a good teacher. What are your thoughts about failure being a way to teach? Let me know in the comments below. And if you are getting value out of this video so far, please hit the like button. Okay, onwards to number 5. Strategy number 5 is to help foster strong social connections and belonging, the sense of being part of something larger than oneself. Research consistently identifies social connection as one of the most powerful resilience building forces in a child's life. And this isn't just about having friends, it's about feeling genuinely included in a family, a peer group, a school, a team, or a faith community. When a child feels like they matter to a group, that they are seen, known, and valued, they carry that into hard times. They know they are not alone. That knowledge is in itself a form of resilience. So what can you do to foster connections? Encourage team activities, mentorship relationships, family rituals, and community involvement. These aren't extras, they're foundations. Strategy number 6 often gets overlooked in conversations about resilience because it sounds so simple, but the evidence is unambiguous. Physical health is emotional infrastructure. So the 6th strategy is to support physical health to strengthen your child's emotional foundation. Sleep, movement, and nutrition are not just good health habits. They are the biological keys on which a child's capacity to cope, regulate, and recover is built. Encourage your child to get at least 60 minutes of daily physical activity, which is linked to improved mood, cognitive function, and stress management. Children who are physically active have better emotional regulation and are better equipped to cope with adversity. And sleep is equally critical. Having a regular sleep routine is an important factor for a child to manage stress and recover from difficulty. Nutrition matters too. Having healthy and balanced meals with as little sugar and processed foods will help support brain function and emotional regulation. There's a lot more to be said about nutrition, and I have made videos about this topic and children, and so here's one up here somewhere, and I'll include the link in the video description. So let's bring this all together. 6 strategies for raising resilient children. 1. Build at least one safe, stable, consistent relationship. 2. Teach and model emotional regulation. 3. Let children make decisions, problem solve, and struggle appropriately. Don't steal their victories by solving everything for them. 4. Let failure be a teacher for your child so they can develop a growth mindset. 5. Foster social connections and belonging. And 6. Support physical health, sleep, movement, and nutrition. Remember, you will not be able to protect your children from hard things, but you can prepare them to face life's challenges and to come through them. That is one of the greatest gifts a parent, caregiver, or teacher can give. Know that resilient children become resilient adults who are able to deal with life's stresses and adversities. Resilience will help children and adults bounce back stronger so we can survive and overcome whatever life will throw at us. If this video helped you, please hit the like button and then subscribe for future content on applying child development concepts. Want more tips to help your child? Watch this video next. See you over there.